Have you ever considered the moral implications of technology and how they intersect with the ambitions of those building it? In the case of Sam Altman and OpenAI, the conversation has grown far beyond software or artificial intelligence. It has become a debate about power, responsibility, and the speed at which innovation is being pushed into society. With every ambitious announcement, the equation appears increasingly tilted towards scale and investment, raising questions about whether ethical considerations are keeping pace with technological acceleration. Altman has often positioned himself as an advocate for AI safety, warning publicly about the dangers of advanced artificial intelligence. Yet critics argue that this creates a paradox. On one hand, OpenAI calls for regulation and caution. On the other, it is racing to build increasingly powerful systems while seeking massive capital investment to expand infrastructure. Reports surrounding OpenAI's restructuring and nonprofit governance have already drawn scrutiny from regulators and former employees, with concerns raised about how a company founded for the benefit of humanity balances its original mission against commercial incentives. These debates, covered in outlets like Cal Matters and the Associated Press, highlight a growing tension between idealism and economics. The most pressing fears are not limited to technological risk alone. Increasingly, analysts are focusing on the socio-economic implications of AI at scale. Large language models and automation promise efficiency, but they also raise concerns about labor displacement, data ownership, and long-term inequality. Financial and technology reporting has noted that the infrastructure required to power AI, massive data centers, enormous energy consumption, and billions in capital expenditure, could reshape entire regional economies. The question becomes not just whether AI works, but who ultimately benefits from its success. As we turn the pages of this unfolding narrative, we are forced to confront an uncomfortable question. Where do we draw the line between innovation and exploitation? Because as we dissect the intricacies of Altman's ambitions, a troubling pattern begins to emerge. The very technologies designed to uplift society could, if left unchecked, reinforce existing inequalities. Access to AI tools, compute power, and data increasingly concentrates in the hands of a small number of organizations capable of funding infrastructure on a national scale. Critics argue that this concentration of power mirrors earlier eras of technological disruption, where progress moved faster than society's ability to distribute its benefits evenly. Altman's pursuit of investment reflects an age-old dilemma within capitalism itself: how to balance progress with responsibility. OpenAI's massive infrastructure initiatives, including projects designed to support future AI systems, have been framed by supporters as necessary steps toward innovation. Yet skeptics question whether the scale of these commitments relies too heavily on future promises that society is asked to trust before outcomes are fully understood. This is where some commentators have begun referring to what they call the "trust me" moment in AI development. The idea that the public must accept unprecedented expansion today in exchange for uncertain benefits tomorrow. There is an inherent danger in placing immense influence in the hands of a single organization or figure, particularly when the technology involved has global implications. The issue is not personal, it is structural. History shows that technological revolutions often outpace governance, leaving ethical frameworks struggling to catch up. The question, then, is not whether Altman's vision is sincere, but whether any system driven by competition, investment pressure, and rapid scaling can truly prioritize collective prosperity over individual advantage. As we examine the intricate relationship between power and responsibility, it becomes increasingly vital to scrutinize the principles underpinning these ventures. Reports examining AI energy consumption and infrastructure expansion have already sparked debate about environmental impact and public resource allocation. If AI development demands city-scale energy consumption, society must decide who absorbs those costs and who reaps the rewards. These are not purely technical questions, they are societal ones. And then there is the issue of data and privacy. Modern AI systems depend on vast amounts of information, much of it generated by ordinary people who may never directly benefit from the technologies trained on their contributions. The willingness to trade privacy, autonomy, and long-term data ownership in exchange for convenience raises legitimate concerns. Each promise of a brighter technological future must therefore be weighed against the accountability mechanisms that ensure those promises are fulfilled responsibly. The stakes have never been higher. The convergence of technology and power has always produced unintended consequences, particularly for communities already on the margins of economic change. As AI reshapes industries, education, and labor markets, it becomes essential to ask whether the benefits will be shared broadly or concentrated among those already positioned to capitalize on technological transformation. We must engage critically with this vision, not out of fear of progress, but out of responsibility to shape it. The allure of a technological utopia is powerful, but history reminds us that innovation without oversight can deepen divides as easily as it can bridge them. Progress should not be an exclusive privilege reserved for a few. It should be a shared pathway forward. And as discussions expand beyond OpenAI itself, projects connected to Altman's broader ecosystem, such as Worldcoin, add another layer to the conversation. The idea of universal basic income tied to global digital identity may sound aspirational, yet it has sparked debate over biometric data collection and privacy risks. Supporters see a path toward global inclusion. Critics see potential surveillance concerns. Once again, the public is asked to weigh ambition against uncertainty. In the end, Sam Altman presents a compelling vision for the future, one built on innovation, abundance, and technological acceleration. But visions alone are not enough. The real question is whether society can build systems of transparency and accountability strong enough to match the scale of the promises being made. If we are to navigate this complex landscape responsibly, open dialogue must guide the path forward. Because the future of AI will not be decided by technology alone, it will be shaped by the values we choose to defend along the way.